Hello beautiful people, welcome to my channel. This is Qinspride. In this particular content, we will need to be more mature to handle this and to react properly. However, before we start, I want to quickly say something. It is very okay to visit other nations or other continents, alright, for work or holidays. But when you are presenting your review, do know that your review is like a feedback. So, if you want to make an impressive mark, you should be diplomatic about it. You should also not be sarcastic and do not exaggerate or overly exaggerate. Because when you exaggerate, you automatically lose the main reason for the review. And that constructive feedback that would have triggered growth will be lost. Now let us address this.
Mountainsides, some roaring, some running slow, each with stories the valleys know. Alone, a stream.
What's up, y'all? So I've been considering doing this video series on things that drive me crazy about Nigeria. We were in a class on Saturday and I was just talking about how hard it is to live here, and somebody asked, what is hard about Nigeria? And I was like, we ain't got time, because the list is long. But then I realized, if I tell that, ain't nobody gonna come visit me. Like, people ain't gonna come visit me. Like, my best friend is here right now. She's also a missionary. And I think if she wasn't a missionary, she would have gotten on a plane and left. I don't know what's going on. I don't know whether Nigeria's national grid has collapsed. For y'all that are not Nigerians, that means we ain't got no lights. Like, everywhere in the whole city, there's no lights. Thank God that God has blessed me with an inverter, a solar inverter system, so that I can have lights most of the time. But she's been here. We haven't had no water, because in order to pump water, you got to have lights. So she's a trooper. You know what I'm saying? She's taking bucket baths. She sleeping with a fan. I'm not exaggerating. It was 97 degrees yesterday. It's supposed to be 100 degrees on Thursday. So, like, it's hot. We ain't got no lights. We don't know when they're going to be fixed. We ain't got no water. And she's visiting. And I'm like, thank God you're a missionary. But how am I going to get other people to come visit when y'all can't keep the lights on in the middle of hot season? When I say, and for those of you that don't follow Fahrenheit, that's like 36, 37 degrees, 97, 98, 100 degrees. What I don't understand is Nigerians are some of the most intelligent people that I've met on the entire planet. So I keep asking folk, why is it 100 degrees and we can't keep the lights on? Like, Nigerians are some of the most intelligent people I've met in my entire life, hands down. I be having conversations, I'm like, wow, super intelligent. Travel the world, been everywhere, done everything. Why can't we keep the lights on, y'all? So I'm told it's corruption. That makes absolutely no sense to me, that it's corruption, that the people that sell diesel, the people that sell solar inverters, the people that sell generators just want to make money, and the rest of us gotta suffer. Like, why? All I know is I'm hot and I got company, and we paying lots of money to keep some diesel in that gin so that the company can keep cool, so that maybe they'll come back and visit again. God bless Nigeria.
All right, dear sister, you stay in Abuja and you stay under band A, because I do know very well that this particular video you dropped, you did not tell them the band you were in, and that was why it triggered a lot of conversation in the comment section. I know many people didn't understand this because you cut the video and posted some part of it. Not all of them will be patient enough to go through all your videos. This is strictly my own opinion, but I do want to tell you that you are very beautiful and I love the work of God you're doing in Nigeria. However, I would say that I have a problem with your presentation, especially with the way you exaggerate things. Yes, we have light issues in Nigeria. It is not news. However, I do want to state it that there are bands from A through E, and the lights went off for about 20 hours, because the light that affected you also affected me as well. Why? Due to national grid issue. It was later restored after 20 hours, and I would love you to also explain to them.
All right, y'all, I'm about to start some controversy.
So you know exactly what you want to do. All right.
I'm doing a series on things in Nigeria that drive me crazy. I do this at the risk of nobody ever wanting to come visit me, but I just got to tell the truth about it because it be getting on my nerves on a daily basis. Somebody asked and they said, why do you say Nigeria is so hard? It's hard. It's hard. It's hot. There's electricity issues. Like I'm getting ready to move into a new house. And one of the biggest questions is, are we on electricity band A or band B? What does that mean? Says the rest of the world. Let me tell you what that means, because unfortunately I know, because this is the drama I'm living in now. Band A, we will give you lights 20 to 24 hours a day, but we will charge you 4 times the rate of electricity. Band B, we will give you 15 to 19 hours of electricity per day. And Band C and Band D are lower levels of electricity than 15 hours a day. I don't know them exactly because I don't want to ever live nowhere like that. The problem is they jacked me up from Band B to Band A, paying 4 times as much.
No, you are not, my dear. You're mistaken. You are simply paying the tariff of Band A, which is 209 naira per kWh.
But right now, the lights have been off for the last 28 hours. So I'm paying 4 times as much when I have lights, but I ain't got no lights.
But you just told us that it is a national grid problem, which simply means it is not an epileptic power supply issue, but an issue that is central, and once fixed, you will have light because you're in Band A. And you also didn't tell your audience that this national grid collapse does not happen all the time, meaning that most of the time, you do have light.
Thank God for solar. Thank God for inverter. Thank God for the sun. At least that's one thing the sun in this country can do for me. But Nigerian electricity situation, that's one of the hardest things about this country.
Yes, truly, epileptic power supply is a problem in this nation. But sis, you are not the right person to talk about it because you are under Band A and you have almost constant power supply except for the national grid collapse. But you are complaining more than those who are meant to be complaining.
Moving into a new house, I got to know what band am I on. I got to know how many solar panels do I need? How big of a battery do I need? How many cables, these certain thick, I mean, it's a whole science that I've had.
I believe this should be your personal issues because you told us you already have a solar inverter, meaning that even if you're moving to a new house, you will be making use of it. Except you want to be extravagant with your usage of some appliances in the house. And so, you may want to get more solar panels. That should be on you. It has nothing to do with this nation. Also, you are currently in Band A. And you stated that even if you are looking for a house, you will go to Band A. What it simply means is that you may not even need to necessarily use the solar panels. They are going to give you light, or they've already been giving you light. All you can do is to use what you can afford. They give you an option to use what you can afford. Simply go for prepaid meter if you are not using one. As for solar panels, if you want to add extra, it is on you. Do not make it a problem of this country.
To learn engineering science concerning light and solar, just living in this country.
You are now becoming dramatic.
What's hard about Nigeria?
Well, your audience are not far from the truth. I will still ask the question, is this what is hard about Nigeria for you? You've been in Nigeria for so many years, and to anybody who cares to listen, epileptic power supply is a problem in Nigeria. You better know about it and plan on how to deal with it. Why is it that after staying in Nigeria for so many years, the first thing you could talk about is this? The video you published first, you made it look like there's not been light at all. And you also said you have solar inverter, which simply means you weren't even affected. But the way you presented your narrative, you made it look like there was no light in the whole of the city you were staying, and there's not been light. Also, you shouldn't even be worried about water because you should have known in your stay in Nigeria to have a reservoir, a water reservoir. Not necessarily because there won't be light and water will not be pumped, but because of the place you are staying. If you are staying in a place whereby you are the only one in the compound, you can manage your water. Your water will still be in the tank because when the waters are pumped, it goes straight to the tank. However, if you are just a tenant, there may be other occupants in the compound and some of them may use water indiscriminately. So it is safe for you to also have a reservoir for your water. So when the water is being pumped, you fetch some and reserve, then you now use the one you want to use direct. If not, there may be time that there may even be light but no water. To me, you are not the right person to make this video because you are staying in a place with light. Your light went off because of a national grid problem. So I do not think that someone of your status, an American who came to Nigeria, staying in a band A session with almost 20 to 24 hours, enjoying adequate light, coming out to make a video just because of national grid failure. By the way, grid collapses in America, true or false? Why didn't you make videos about your constant lights in Nigeria? Why didn't you make videos about your good neighborhood in Nigeria? Instead, immediately the grid went off, you lifted your camera.
So, I'm talking about stuff in Nigeria that drive me crazy. I live in Abuja. Nobody here can drive.
Sis, be calming down. Reduce your exaggeration.
What? I'm trying to stay calm. What's wrong with you people? Why y'all drive like that? First of all, stay in your lane. There could be white lines on the road and y'all driving halfway in one lane, halfway. Why?
Yes, some can be crazy drivers, I agree.
Get in one lane or the other. Don't drive halfway down the middle. And then these little green cars, the along that pick up people, before you pull off on the road, look over your shoulder. Is anybody coming? Like, don't just pull off in the road, or you see a person that you want to pick up and you just stop.
Yes, you are correct, and it is a big problem.
And I'm not supposed to hit you. Like, my pressure. Driving in Abuja got my... I can't even begin to list the number of insane things that people... Y'all don't like red lights? Like, it's just a suggestion. It's not really... Just keep going through it. Like, literally, I drive up to an intersection like, okay. Like, you can't just drive up to an intersection. When the light changes, don't take off because you will get slammed.
Absolutely, sis, I agree with you. Sometimes you even be wondering whether these drivers have 3 lives or 7 lives.
Because people just keep driving. We don't care about red lights. We just gonna do what we gonna do. Lawlessness. I just can't even begin to tell the whole story of, Legos. It's just a lot of people on the road and there's a lot of traffic, but at least they make sense. Everybody's hustling, trying to get Abuja. I just think y'all turn off your brain before you get behind the wheel. I don't understand it.
Okay, so yes, you are correct. There are people that drive so insane. There are people that are also good in driving. So I do not think that generalizing it is a good thing.
Would I invite anyone to live in Nigeria? There was a person that was coming to live in Nigeria for a job recently, and I took her through all the things to prepare. And then there was somebody else that was thinking about it because they're sick of America and a whole bunch of stuff going on there. But I said, look, don't move to Nigeria unless you're rich or unless you're called. Either Jesus has to tell you to come live here, which is the case with me, and me and Jesus sometimes have arguments about that, or you have to be rich, because Nigeria is wonderful if you can afford to have a solar and inverter system that you can live off-grid, that you never have to depend on NEPA, as we call it. You need to have a driver. You need to have security. You need to have, what else do you need to live in this country and enjoy? You just need to be rich. You need to have a lot of money to where you don't have to deal with the system, where you don't have to go into any government office, where somebody can just always be doing something for you, where you just shield yourself from the corruption, you shield yourself from the bribery, you shield yourself from just the everyday hustle, the everyday aggravations, like having water that's running. First of all, you can't drink the water here.
Sis, are you sure about that? You mean the water in Abuja, or the water in Lagos, or the water in the north, or the water in the east, or the water in people's villages, the clean sparkling waters in people's streams? Which one exactly are you talking about? Because it is very important you do not generalize, especially for someone with your calling.
Don't drink the water here because you're going to get sick. So you have to buy all your water.
So the water you buy, where are they from? From Nigeria or from heaven? Did you import the water from heaven? Or did you import them from overseas, from America? You need to tell us. We need to know. I'm just asking. It's just my own opinion.
It's just a whole... I don't even know how to describe it. Would I tell somebody to live here? If Jesus says so, then come on, boo. Come and suffer with me. Come and just let's build the kingdom together. Or if you're rich, then I'm going to come visit you so I can enjoy my life a little bit. But other than that,
Sis, you can simply advise them on the necessary things to get or prepare for before coming to Nigeria or to any nation that they want to go to. Just do it without being dramatic about it. Listen, when preparing to go to any country, anywhere, the first thing you need to know is that you require adequate funding. Whether you are rich or not, just get enough fund. In fact, so many Western world would want to make sure that you have adequate funding before you enter their country. True or false? You need to have adequate funding for sustenance all through your stay in their nations. It is not about being rich. Another point again is when you are going to people's nations, try to learn more about the nation. Don't go to people's nations and be reckless. Ask questions. Do not go to wrong places even at the right time. Do not go to the right places at the wrong time. You can be robbed anywhere. You can be attacked anywhere. Involving security depends on where you're going to and how you want to live your life. There are so many foreigners in Nigeria, both the white foreigners and the black foreigners, that are not using security. So I think it depends only on you and what you want to do with it, and where you are going to and how you want to live your life. Also, know what works in Nigeria. If you need lights, adequate lights, rent apartments in residences that use band A, and still get your solar in case there is national grid collapse. You can also rent houses in band B and still install solar for backup. You can equally rent houses in band C areas, band D or band E. It all depends on you. Just have a backup, your generator or your solar inverter, depending on what you want to use. Just know that we have generally epileptic power supply in Nigeria. Do not be extravagant in spending. Try to save some of your money because you may not know how long you are staying. Alright, just be prepared. Do not form Americana in Nigeria. Nobody send you here. Be nice to people around you. Do not be abusive. Love people and they will love you back. It is a very simple thing. You can tell them all these things without being dramatic about it. Alright, telling them that they must be rich to come to Nigeria or they should not or they are called. To me, those things are really not necessary, sis. And you know they are not necessary.
So I'm saying the things that I don't like about Nigeria. They have convinced me that I also need to share the things that I do love about Nigeria. Now, I don't even know if, as a woman of God, I should go on record because I don't want to take my reputation in any way. But let me tell y'all something. I think the finest men on the planet are Nigerians.
Ah, sis, you and drama 5 and 6. All right, let's see her.
Oh my God. It's like all day, every day, eye candy. You just be like, I just like to go sit somewhere and be like, oh. Like I said, like I'm still saved. I still love Jesus. I'm still holy. But Nigerian men are beautiful. Jesus. Let me tell y'all something. Now, I ain't gonna fool with them because they got a reputation for not quite being faithful and sticking to one person. But as far as eye candy goes, yeah, I don't know if there's anywhere else on the planet that you can just get your eye full and just be happy. God blessed Nigerian men.
Nigerians have one of the finest men, and that is a good thing. There is nothing wrong with appreciating good things and having emotions. It shows you are healthy and also not pretending socially. When you see a good-looking person, listen, you will turn, because these people are the handworks of God. God creates godly things, and beauty is God's work. There is nothing wrong with your reputation, dear sister. After all, men of God do marry, and when they marry, do they look at their wives just like that? No. There is feelings, emotions are there. It is normal, it is human. There is nothing wrong, sis, with looking at people and appreciating the goodness of God and God's creation.
I'm sharing some stuff about my life here in Nigeria because folks be asking me questions. So I'm like, let me just shoot a bunch of videos and ask the questions. Now, I'm about to start World War III.
Sis, you seem to know what you are doing exactly to trigger chaos. Anyway, we Nigerians, we are stronger than that. Bring it on.
Because I just need to say unequivocally, and I know the comment section is going to be insane, but I'm right. I just want to say that although I do enjoy Nigerian food, I enjoy many of their dishes, Cameroonian food beats Nigerian food every day of the week.
Ewe. Sis, is that it? No. Yes, Cameroonians are good in their dishes, all right? Nigerians are good in their dishes. It depends on your perspective. And what you love. But this will not bring World War III. Nigerians and Cameroonians are related. We are brothers and we love each other.
Cameroonian food is some of the best food on the planet, and it is better than Nigerian food. Go ahead and comment. Say what you want to say. When people from Nigeria have visited Cameroon, they'd be like, "Oh, this is good." I'm like, "Right?" And they're like, they don't want to admit it. Even these ones that's watching me shoot these videos right now that have eaten Cameroonian food, they don't want to admit it, but they know. They know the experience that happens in their mouth. You cannot take my Nigerian residency card. They've already given it to me, but I'm telling y'all the truth.
We love Cameroonians. They are our brothers, auntie.
Like I said, there are certain dishes here that I love very, very much. What I love the most, let me tell y'all the truth. Now, my people from my other countries going to get upset about this one. What I love the most about Nigerian, I love Nigerians. I might have a problem with Nigeria, but let me tell you something. Nigerians, my heart. Now, I love my Cameroonians. Me and Kenya, we still fighting. I love y'all, but we still fighting. But Nigerians, let me tell you something. Nigerians are some of the most brilliant people on the planet. They're some of the most innovative people on the planet. They have this word that I now use in my vocabulary, pushful. I would have never used that word before I moved here. Nigerians are some of the most pushful people, which means they go for it. They got to hustle. They got to drive. Like my other people in other countries, I'm pulling them to get them to live out their purpose and destiny. Nigerians, I'm pulling them back. Wait a minute. Let's get the full word. Let's prepare. Hold on a minute, baby. I love the pushfulness. I mean, if we're making up a word, we might as well go all the way with it. I love the pushfulness. I love the generosity. Let me tell you something. Nigerians will embarrass you with generosity. They are the most generous people I've ever met. And they're smart, they're brilliant, they're well-traveled, well-exposed. They are opinionated. They are loving and kind. And let me tell you something. I ain't met nobody nowhere that loves Jesus more than Nigerians. They are hungry for God, and that fuels the revival fire on the inside of me. So I might complain about Nigeria all day, but Nigerians, that's my heart.
In morning breath and midnight calm, His glory hums a choir.
In all, thank you so much for your criticisms. We learn from it and we grow. God bless Nigeria.